It's about time with Rashawn's About Time Boxing, aka Mr. Trill 100 Mil. What's up to my About Time Boxing family and the Trill 100 Mil gang? Thank you to every single one of y'all who has been taking out the time to watch the videos, like the videos, share the videos, and leave the comments. If you have not already subscribed to the channel and you're watching this video or any of my videos for the first time, please subscribe to the channel. And please support the channel and donate to the channel. And please encourage others to subscribe to the channel and donate to the channel. And don't forget to hit that notification button to stay up on the latest with Rashawn's About Time Boxing. For the channels that I rock with, you know, y'all watched most of my videos. Y'all know it's usually in the description box below. But you can check out any of my other videos. You can see all of those channels. Y'all know the channels are, the people I rock with know who they are. Please support and subscribe and donate to those channels too as well. You know what I mean? Big shout to my guy, Rebel Life, you know what I mean? And all my subscribers and everybody who has been supporting the channel and donating to the channel. Shout out to The Natural Way. Thank you so much for donating and supporting the channel. I appreciate you. All right, so October, what was it? Saturday, October 9th. No, was it? October, y'all know what day it was. Saturday, it was October 15th. There you go. There you go. It was Saturday, October 15th, 2022. Caleb Plant and Anthony DIRRELL fought. And I'm talking about this, you know, this fight because I'm actually, you know, I want to lead into three other fighters and, you know, other situations pertaining to Caleb Plant beating Anthony DIRRELL. Shout out to Anthony DIRRELL too, you know, even though I think that this, you know, that probably might have been his last fight. It's possible he may retire after that. For one, congratulations to Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant fought a brilliant, patient fight. And I don't know if y'all watched him train or not, but if y'all watched him training, he did everything that he was doing in training. It was almost like he duplicated pretty much everything he was doing in training. If y'all seen him training and y'all seen him, you know, doing it, you know, going like this, you know, around, going in circles, you know, spinning, rotating, going back into different, you know, motions, and, you know, like being patient with setting up the shots. He did all that in training. He listened to his corner and he didn't waver. And because he listened to his corner and he, you know, did everything, you know what I mean, the way he was supposed to do it, he got the knockout victory. Now, you know, either Anthony DIRRELL's chin is weak or Caleb Plant, you know what I mean, really has that type of knockout power, because I picked him to beat Canelo, but I just think the reason why he didn't beat Canelo is because he had the wrong game plan. And you know, he got a new trainer, the guy, they call him the Bread Man from Philadelphia, trained J. Rock Jr. Williams. So you know, I think that, you know, and this is only one fight, so it's still kind of early to tell, but you know, they feel like he was a good addition, you know, to Caleb Plant, you know, to his team and his camp. And I feel like, you know, whatever they worked on, you know, it worked. And Caleb Plant was patient. And even the knockout punch that he threw, he was patient. Usually, you know, somebody, you know what I mean, hook body, hook head, it come top or bottom, or from the bottom, you know, hook body, hook head. But when he threw the hook to the body, it was a slight pause. You know what I mean? Because I think they were probably telling him, you know, well, you know, he keeping his right hands low. He keeping his right hand low. Even when he, you know, throw his shots and stuff, you know, his right hand is still low. He keeping his right hand low. And they probably was telling him, you gonna catch him with the check hook. You gonna catch him with it. And when he threw the hook to the body, it was like a slight pause because he was still down. He threw it to the body, pause, and Anthony DIRRELL hands was down. Then he came up, boom, it was the perfect shot. perfect shot. And again, it only takes 5 pounds of pressure to knock somebody out. So, you know what I mean? It takes 5 pounds of pressure. And if you throw the punch, that's why, you know, when I was boxing, and even when I train people, I used to always tell people, don't worry about throwing a punch hard. Worry about throwing a punch right. Because if you throw the punch the right way, everything you need will be on that punch. The speed, accuracy, power, everything that you need. If you throw the punch the right way, you're going to have all those things. And Caleb Plant did that, and that's how he got, you know, and it resulted in him getting the knockout victory over Anthony Dirrell. And it was a beautiful punch. It was, you know what I mean, beautiful fight. You know what I mean? I love the fight. So like I said again, you know, shout out to Anthony Dirrell. You know what I mean? And and congratulations to Caleb Plant on a beautiful victory. Now, but with that being said, okay, so you got, all right, because I want this, I want this to be right. All right, so you got Caleb Plant now, because I feel like, in the super middleweight division, there needs to be some type of, it doesn't need to be another Super 6 thing or nothing like that, but it need to be like a, a 4-man eliminator or something to that effect. Because I think the fight with Dirrell was like a WBC title eliminator or something like that. Because honestly, I don't know. It's possible Canelo may abandon that belt, petition for another WBC super middleweight franchise title, and just, as opposed to fighting, Caleb Plant again. It's possible he may, fight Caleb Plant again. But like I said, I'm touching on that to touch on. As I said, I want to make sure that I lay all of this out, the best way that I possibly can. Okay, so now you got Caleb Plant. He's 30 years old. So now he's 22-1 with 13 knockouts. Pro debut, I believe it was May of 2014. And we just talked about his last fight, which was October 15th. Knockout victory over Anthony Dirrell. So now then you got Demetrius Andrade. He's 34 years old. Clock is ticking. I think he's 31-0 with 19 knockouts. Made his pro debut October 2008. He got a knockout victory over somebody named Jason Quigley, if I'm not mistaken. And that was, I think, November of 2021. So you got Plant, you got Andrade, and then now you got the guy who I like, David Benavidez. I'm not saying that I dislike any of them other guys, but I really like David Benavidez, and I honestly feel like that he really is, between him and Andrade, the two, real boogeymen of the super, possibly the middleweight and super middleweight division. You know what I'm saying? Because, some people don't want to fight Andrade. And it seemed like nobody wants to fight David Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? So, and we know in the past what happened to Demetrius Andrade, even when he was fighting at 154 pounds. When he got stripped of the WBA title due to inactivity because nobody wanted to fight him. And I feel like Canelo didn't want to fight him, claiming that, it would be a boring fight. But realistically, he would have created that awkwardness that Bivol did. And, Andrade is a southpaw, so he would have had that awkward style. Then he probably would have peppered Canelo all night, and Canelo probably would have got frustrated, and he would just got beat, like the way Bivol, the way Bivol beat him. So, again, like I said, so you got Plant, you got Andrade, then you got my guy, David Benavidez. He's 25 years old. Pro debut, I think, August of 2013. Now, if I'm wrong about any of this stuff, please feel free to correct me in the comment section below. But I believe, like I say, 25 years old, turned pro August of 2013. I think he's 26-0 with 23 knockouts. His last fight, he had a knockout victory against David Lemieux. I believe it was a second round knockout, I believe. Second or third round knockout. And that was a few months ago, May of 2022. right? Benavidez. Now we got this guy. I like this guy too. You got CHARLO. I like CHARLO. And a lot of people, you know what I mean, especially like, during the summer and stuff like that, a lot of people was, they was making memes and clowning him and talking about he got a drinking problem. He need to stop, he's selling wolf tickets, and, he making these drunken videos talking about he want to fight this person, that person, and, but he really don't want to fight and all that type of stuff. People saying, like, I don't believe that, you know what I mean? Because again, like I said, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes that a lot of us don't know about. And we can only give the information based on the research that we do and based on what we know to be, facts. I'm not going to put stuff out there, like I'm trying to clown another fighter or put stuff out there about them, you know what I mean? Like, especially like talking about somebody got a drinking problem and stuff like that, like, even if it is or if it's not true, you know what I mean? Because if it is true and he got that issue, like, people should want to see him get well, and if he need to get help for that, get help for it, rather than to make fun of him and stuff like that. That's not, you know what I mean? I just don't think that type of stuff is cool. You know what I mean? But you got, CHARLO, like I said, for him, he's 32. He's 32 years old, I believe. CHARLO. Right, he's 32 years old. He made his pro debut, I think, August of 2008. I think August 2008. And his last fight, he won unanimous decision. And I think that was in 2021, June, I think 2021, and he fought somebody named Juan Montiel, I think. And again, if any of this information is off, or feel free to drop the correct stuff in the comment section below. I'm just trying to, go off of, memory. But so now, with Caleb Plant, Demetrius Andrade, David Benavidez, CHARLO, all three of them guys, Plant, Andrade, and Benavidez, all had knockouts in their last fight. CHARLO was the only one that he won by unanimous decision against Montiel, but he caught some backlash even in that fight. You know what I mean? People were saying he looked flat-footed, and if he fight Benavidez like that, this is going to happen. A lot of people were saying a lot of different things, but even with people saying stuff like that, styles make fights, and this is what people really got to understand. And this is one of the things I always talk about. When I say styles make fights, is about how styles do make fights, and how the different styles of the fighters do or don't translate in the ring together. Some styles clash, and some styles are perfectly made for each other. You know what I mean? And the styles that you can tell are tailor-made for each other make out for some of the best fights. And the fights that sometimes people say are boring is because the styles pretty much, the styles, they don't translate well in the ring together. So some of those fights end up, they say it's being boring. But even with Andrade knocking out that guy Jason Quigley, of course, that was something that I expected him to do, and he got rid of him early. I think that was a second-round knockout, because had he let the guy hang around, people would have questioned, like, okay, this is somebody who they pulled out from underneath whatever and let you fight this guy, and you let him hang around. So when you get people like that, yeah, you're supposed to. You know what I mean? Now, it's interesting because Demetrius Andrade, after Caleb Plant knocked out Anthony DIRRELL, Demetrius Andrade said, I'll do the same thing to Caleb Plant that he did to DIRRELL. Can he do it? You see what I'm saying? Because, Andrade has, he's 31-0, and he has 19 knockouts. So he has, a little over, 55%, I guess, like close to 60% knockout ratio. Maybe a little more than that, give or take. So, I guess the power is based on the type. His power is based on who he fights. and then the way he fights, and is he willing to take a chance? Because some people feel like, you know, Demetrius Andrade plays it kind of safe, and he's not, you know, really, you know, like willing to take a chance. But he took a chance against Quigley because he didn't have no choice. In my opinion, you had to go ahead and just, you know, get this guy out the way, especially if you calling for the big names in the big fights. Now, my issue is I don't understand why is it so, I mean, and again, because like I stated earlier, that there's a lot of stuff that go on behind the scenes that we don't understand or may not know about. And sometimes it is a case where some fighters are scared to fight other fighters because they scared, you know, they may lose their position. And that golden ticket that they trying to get, that cinnamon Canelo ticket that they trying to get, you know, and it's possible that, you know, the other three may never get it. It's possible. It's possible. Because after Canelo beat Caleb Plant, he went up to go fight Bivol. And I don't care what nobody say. He went up to fight Bivol to avoid these other three guys. You're the undisputed super middleweight champion. And he's going to cash out regardless, you know what I mean, of what the other three with Andrade, Benavidez, and CHARLO get, regardless of whatever they would have negotiated to pay, you know, to pay them. Now, I don't know if it's a case where they know Canelo going to get, you know, 30+ million and they want the same. No, I think that if they fight Canelo, any one of them, I think that 10 million, if they got 10 million, that should be sufficient. And I think that that's what Caleb Plant got when he fought Canelo. I think he got like 10 million or 10 plus or something like that. You know, but, you know, even if they got 8 million fighting Canelo, I think that's still good. And especially, you know what I mean, if they all think that they can beat him, then take the 8 million, dethrone him, beat him. You know, then y'all become the big ticket and make the big money fighting each other. Because I still feel like out of all four of those guys, Caleb Plant, Demetrius Andrade, Jermall Charlo, and David Benavidez, all four of those guys still have to fight each other. They have to. Now, I don't know if Caleb Plant going to start trying to campaign for another fight against Canelo. But I feel like that, you know, these sanctioning bodies, again, should mandate, like, okay, all four of y'all all have to knock each other off if y'all want to get that fight. I don't care what combination fight who first. I don't care if it's Plant against CHARLO, CHARLO against Andrade, Benavidez against Plant. Because Caleb Plant talked about wanting to fight Benavidez. Now, some people say that CHARLO had a chance to fight Canelo some years ago, but they say he didn't take advantage of it. You know, say he didn't take the fight. Now I'm gonna look. I'll research that and I'll look into that and see if he was offered the Canelo fight before, but turned it down. Some people say this. Some people said his brother even had made mention about it. Like, oh, his brother had the chance to fight him, and I don't know what the situation was. But I feel like that any I mean, y'all let me know. Am I tripping? You know, like, would y'all like to see that? Any combination, all four of those guys, Caleb Plant, Andrade, CHARLO, Benavidez, I would love to see any combination of those four. I want to see all four of those guys fight each other. And only reason why I take Anthony Dirrell out is because I feel like, you know, after that fight with Plant, that probably may be his last fight. And based on that fight with Caleb Plant, you know, some people may be writing him off. I'm not writing him off. I'm just saying that's maybe he's 37 years old, I think. So I think maybe he, you know, probably feel like, yeah, well, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and hang it up. Two-time world champion, cancer survivor, and all that stuff. His career is nothing to scoff at. He has accomplished a lot, you know what I mean? So, and I'm not, and I don't want nobody talking about, oh, what about Triple G? Not putting him in the mix either. I'm not putting him in the mix. Because I feel like that any one of those guys can beat him. And Triple G not going to want to fight none of those guys anyway. He's not. But it's going to be interesting to see what these sanctioning bodies do with Canelo and those belts. Because are they just going to keep allowing him to just, you know, anytime Charlo or Benavidez and Andrade's name come up, and trying to make a fight with them. Now all of a sudden he acting like he trying to chase a new goal. Oh, I want to go up to Brigger weight. Where you gonna go up to Brigger weight next, or light heavyweight next, or something like that? Like, come on. I mean, well, he did go up to light heavyweight, but y'all know what I mean, cruiserweight or whatever. He gonna go up to cruiserweight now, you know what I mean, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, he need to defend those belts. He need to defend those belts, and then okay, if those 4 guys, even though I still feel like those fights would be great for boxing. They would be great for boxing. But I think that in order for them to fight Canelo, because the sanctioning bodies, they going to let Canelo do what he wants. They're not going to mandate he has to fight, any one of those guys. At least I don't see it. I don't see it. And even if Caleb Plant is the #1 contender for that WBC super middleweight title, Canelo going to do what he did at middleweight. Going to drop that joint, get a franchise belt, and let whoever fight for that joint. And if he does do that, then those guys, I'm telling you, Plant, Charlo, Benavidez, Andrade, I'm telling you, I want to see that. Because it seemed like nobody wants to fight David. And they was talking about, and Benavidez said it was talk about them making a fight with Andrade after he fought Lemieux. But I guess that fell through the cracks. You didn't hear nothing about that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why. And Benavidez is the youngest out of all of those guys. 25, 26 years old. So, I don't know, and Charlo was supposed to fight somebody, but that fight, got postponed. But I think, them guys need to forget about fighting, all these people, you know what I mean, that's, underneath them or underneath them. They all need to fight each other. So, like I said, I feel like it need to be, do y'all think it should be some type of, you know what I mean, like a Super 4, not a Super 6, but like a Super 4 or some type of, mandated, sanctions, or fights with, with all 4 of those guys. They need to fight each other first before, I feel like they are, Caleb Plant already fought Canelo. But even still, if he want to get that rematch or get any one of those belts or get his IBF belt that he lost, and they all need to fight each other, because other than that, Canelo's just gonna tie those belts up. So and if they do fight each other, or any one of them guys, let them fight Canelo. Or Canelo need to vacate those belts. Vacate them. Vacate the belts and let those guys go for it. If Canelo vacated and it was an undisputed tournament, like for all the belts, with them 4, man. But we know, this is the new age era of boxing. Stuff like that is not going to happen. They let, certain fighters dictate the pace, do whatever they want, call their own shots. But anyway, drop the comments in the comment section below. I didn't want this video to go this long, but drop the comments in the comment section below what y'all think about it. You know what I mean? Caleb Plant, Jermall Charlo, David Benavidez, Demetrius Andrade. You know what I mean? Do y'all want to see, any combination of those 4? Because I do. Let me know what y'all think.